It's all about WYOU Interactive.
Welcome back. Our interactive topic tonight is spreading hate. The recent rash of racist messages popping up across the area. Here to talk about it from the Luzerne County Diversity Commission, Arthur Breeze, psychologist Robert Griffin, and Dr. Linda Trompeter from Misericordia University. Thank you all for being with us. We've been discussing some recent items that have been hitting the news in our area. We had the synagogue desecration. We had the banner hung up from the Market Street Bridge. And we have an unexpected caller this evening. Steve Smith from the Keystone State Skinheads is on the line. Steve.
Hey, how's it going?
You called into the program. What is your take on what we've been talking about here?
Well, I didn't cut the end of it, so I just know that you're talking about me, so that's why I called in. So I really don't know exactly what you're talking about.
Well, we're talking about the recent actions that have been going on, specifically the banner that was hung on the Market Street Bridge that is connected to your organization.
And what's wrong with the banner?
Well, a lot of people say the banner is spreading hate, Steve. It's a racist message that's being put out to the public, that it's being done covertly instead of overtly with words like preserve our heritage.
So what's the difference between what if a black or Latino group put out a banner that said preserve our heritage? Would people be saying it's hate or bigotry then? It's a big double standard hypocrisy in the media.
Well, what are we misunderstanding about your group, Steve? I got to be honest with you. I have in my copy in hand intelligence report. This goes out to law enforcement. It says active hate groups on the rise, and your organization is prominently listed.
And what group is that? Southern Poverty Law Center? They're an anti-white organization.
They're an anti-what organization?
Anti-white organization.
They're an anti-white organization.
If you look through their thing, you hardly see any any black racist groups or Jewish extremist groups. It's just all pro-white groups that they label hate groups. The label hate, white supremacist, bigot, are just labels used by liberals, egalitarians to try to stifle debate and keep whites in a perpetual state of guilt.
Well, we're all about debate here, Steve. Let's get a take of it. Go ahead, Linda. I know you want to speak.
Yes, Steve. I think there's a huge difference. Different groups promoting their heritage are not doing it to the exclusion of other groups. And it's just what it says, egalitarian. So the idea is inclusion, not exclusion. When you're saying preserve our heritage and you're talking about basically white supremacy, you're basically saying that other groups are not as important, they're not equal, and they're overtaking us. This is not about that. Everybody should be proud of their heritage. I'd love it if you said that. Let's all be proud of our heritage. Europeans, Africans, Latinos, Jews, Muslims. That's a wonderful message. That's inclusive, not exclusive.
Well, I agree with you. I think all races should be proud of their heritage. But when whites say they're proud of their heritage, it's labeled hate and bigotry.
It's not saying a white be proud of your heritage. It's when you put out stuff, it's saying that you're better than.
Well, again, you obviously haven't checked out our website, KeystoneUnited.com. You would find out we don't say we're better than a certain race.
You do say that your organization focused on education and organization. What would you describe the education and organizational role of the group then?
Well, we try to, this young girl that did the synagogue spray painting.
Right, she's not connected to you.
Yeah, if she would have read our website, she would have thought we were about. We could have been positive activism. See, these young kids that are alienated by multiculturalism, the high crime rates in their neighborhoods, they see these movies put out by Hollywood like American History X, Romper Stomper, and emulate the behavior in these movies, and that's why you get this irrational behavior.
So what's the education and organization that you're promoting, Steve?
Well, that's how we educate these young kids. These young kids that come to us, we tell them the right way to do things. That this productive behavior of spray painting, graffiti, violence for the sake of violence is counterproductive, and it puts white nationalists in a bad light.
So what is the right way, Steve? You said you educate them on the right way to do things.
I'm
curious as to what that is.
State Skinheads. Look at our website. Look at the activities we're doing. Everything's positive, but everybody wants to twist it around like it's negative. You can't really say one negative thing that we have done in the past couple months. You just label it hate and bigotry.
Well, you went out in the middle of the night and you put a banner on a bridge. That's not technically legal. Why not doing it? Why not doing it during the daytime? Why not promote it? Why do it during the night?
Flyer during the day. If you go to the website KeystoneUnited.com, see activism, you'll see my picture. It's in the daytime putting up flyers. I do it in daytime.
Well, certainly the recent...
What gets me about this banner thing, it's illegal? Is that what you're saying?
I believe it's illegal to put up a banner on public property.
So if I put a Hillary Clinton for president banner at the same place, would that still be considered illegal?
I don't know about the legal ramifications of that, Steve. It might be. I believe there are certain logistics about where signs can be posted.
Well, it seems like it's selective persecution. If people don't agree with the message, then it's illegal. Do you disagree with that?
If certain people don't agree with the message, then it's illegal. Then that would certainly be persecution, violation of someone's free right to speak.
Yeah, I'm finding that we're wasting a lot of time on this issue. I would really like to get to the real issue of being very proactive in our community. And again, Linda had mentioned prior to that we've established a Luzerne County Diversity Task Force, which is now a commission. And one of the things that we want to make sure is that this bigotry, this hate will not be tolerated in our community. And so the 3 commissioners have spearheaded this. I think the second thing that we need to do is tremendous amounts of education. He calls what they're doing as education. I call it miseducation. Lots of misinformation is being spread around. And I think the third thing is that through the Diversity Institute at Misericordia University, we offer a multicultural leadership camp for sophomores going into their junior year, because we're concerned about our students that are leaving this region going into more global society and not having the cultural competency skills that they're going to need to really be effective in a society that's going to be much more multicultural than when they're coming from. We don't spread any hate in terms of them not being, positive about their own culture, but we really want it to be multicultural, not only one center.
Are you looking to chime in as well?
Yeah, I think with our area, we are at a critical point where most of the hate crimes occur when groups are just starting to integrate. And after they've integrated a bit or for a period of time, then there are less hate crimes and less discrimination. But we're at a point where there are groups that our demographics are changing. So I think we're not really prepared for it. I think there's a lot that needs to be. I don't think with this conversation on race, it's almost very difficult because a lot of the knowledge that would require to actually have a conversation is not really public knowledge, and it requires a little bit of effort and concentration. So I don't think the people are really prepared to have an honest conversation on race the way we need to, or other than looking at some extreme examples like Steve or these 2 girls and just saying that's wrong. There's more to it than that. There's a lot to it. So any group, I guess I would say, that calls themselves the skinheads, you just have to, you can't really, if a group wanted to be positive and portray a positive image, they wouldn't use that name.
Well, let's see what Mary from Wilkes-Barre thinks. Mary, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you. I agree with Arthur and Linda. Racism is not only taught by the family. There's a lot of social pressures that children deal with every day about to fit in and where it's right, what group to fit in. Putting these 2 girls into jail, I don't believe is going to solve the problem only temporarily. I think these girls need to be in a situation, like Arthur said, a camp or something where they can interact with the vast minority. That way, they're able to go back into the community and change these other students that have these negative aspects to what that they don't know about culture. I think a lot of it has to do with education, because this is not a problem that we can address today. I think we need to address it little by little, or it's going to become a bigger problem.
And we'll continue to address it. Arthur, Robert, Linda, we're out of time. Appreciate you being with us. Steve, I appreciate you calling in as well and voicing your opinion. We'll be right back.